The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Wonders they say shall never cease to happen. They said that the biggest dog in the village barked the loudest until he saw the hunter's trap. For decades, the world was told that the U.S. Navy was the undisputed master of the seas, that no gate could be closed if Washington wanted it open. But today, the myth has met the reality of the 12-day war in a move that has sent a global oil market into a literal tailspin. The U.S. Navy has officially refused near daily requests from the shipping industry to provide military escort through the Strait of Hormuz. The reason? They say it is too risky. For the first time in modern history, the policeman of the world has looked at a shipping lane and admitted, "We cannot guarantee your safety." A man who boasts that he can carry an elephant should not complain when his back breaks under the weight of a goat. For the last week, President Trump has been telling the world that the U.S. is ready and prepared to escort tankers and ensure the free flow of energy. But behind closed doors, the story is very different. On Tuesday, March 10, during a classified briefing with oil and shipping executives, the Navy's assessment was cold and final. No escort. No escort. While the White House talks about fury, the Pentagon is looking at Death Valley. They know that even $1 billion destroyer cannot stop a swarm of 500 drones and suicide fast boats in a waterway only 21 miles away.
The U.S. Navy and its partners will escort tankers through the strait if needed. I hope it's not going to be needed, but if it's needed, we'll escort them right through. And we have the greatest mine-sweeping ability. We have the greatest ships, and we know exactly where they're placed. We'll get them out of there very fast, but we hope we don't have any of that. And again, if they do that, if they play that game, we're going to hit them at a level that they have not seen before. So we're winning very decisively. We're way ahead of schedule. Our military is the greatest in the world, with the greatest equipment and the greatest people in the world. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands. Since their last hit, they had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. Most are now destroyed. But they were going to take over the Middle East. Those weapons...
companies encouraging them to use the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I think they should use it. In my opinion, look, we took out just about all of their mine ships in one night. We're up to boat number 60. I didn't realize they had that big a Navy. I would say it was big and ineffective. But every one of their ships, just about all of their Navy is gone. Bottom of the sea.
Any mines in the Strait of Hormuz?
We don't think so. Go alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary if it is. And if they do anything, the price will be incalculable. It will be so great that they will have wished they never did it, because you have to keep the straits flowing. With all of that, it affects other countries much more than it does the United States. It doesn't really affect us. We have so much oil. We have tremendous oil and gas, much more than we need. We have Venezuela now as our new partner, great partner. They've worked out so wonderful. We're working with the administration, the president, and it's a massive source of oil, gas, everything.
The U.S. Navy has refused repeated requests from oil and shipping companies to escort commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, citing a high risk of potential attacks by Iran, according to a Reuters report. Industry sources said shipping companies have been asking almost daily for U.S. naval protection as tensions escalate in the region, but the Navy has told them that escort operations are currently too dangerous. Officials warned that providing escorts would only be considered once the threat level decreases. Iranian officials have warned that ships attempting to pass through the strait could be targeted, and several vessels have reportedly already been attacked during the crisis. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most critical energy routes, handling roughly 20% of global oil shipments. Disruptions in the area have already caused a sharp drop in tanker traffic and contributed to rising global oil prices. U.S. officials say the military is still evaluating possible options to secure the waterway, but no escort missions have been carried out so far. Things are escalating really fast.
Can you explain why the Energy Secretary posted and then appeared to have deleted a post on X saying that the U.S. Navy escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes, I was made aware of this post. I haven't had a chance to talk to the Energy Secretary about it directly. However, I know the post was taken down pretty quickly, and I can confirm that the U.S. Navy has not escorted a tanker or a vessel at this time, though, of course, that's an option the President has said he will absolutely utilize if and when necessary at the appropriate time.
Something that was posted erroneously, could it be because of a staffer? I guess, will there be any consequences for this? I know you still have to consult, but just generally speaking.
Again, I would defer you to the Department of Energy to answer that question.
So this right here is a great example of why I wait to post and report on things specifically regarding Iran. The Secretary of Energy came out and said that a Navy ship had escorted a tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. That was a lie. And he had to delete that tweet. A tweet that was shared with major news outlets and energy experts all over the world. As soon as I saw it, I was like, nope. If you haven't figured out yet that the administration, the government of the United States and this administration is not a reliable source for anything, I don't know what to tell you. And as I told you, it was the messaging from this administration that drove oil prices higher than they were supposed to be. They came out, they changed their messaging, oil prices fell. And then you come out and lie, and you just make it worse. Oil prices have gone up $10 since then. Everyone wants a win for just one moment. They want to win on just one argument, one time, one day. They can get the views and the clicks or whatever. I don't care about that. Because tomorrow, when all the things they're celebrating disappear, they'll act like it never happened. Just ask yourself this. If Iran is completely destroyed, why aren't ships moving through the strait? The markets have been manipulated down in the same way they were manipulated up. When the weight of the fundamentals of the market exceed the weight of the propaganda in media, the oil markets will do what they should do despite what's coming over the airwaves. Thanks.
Is this thing happening in real time? The most powerful navy scared? I think this is not happening. Why is it too risky? Because Iran has turned the streets into a technological nightmare. We are talking about thousands of naval mines, some sophisticated, some cheap and deadly. Military analysts are now admitting what we at the latest Version 1 have been saying for weeks. You cannot escort a 300,000-ton oil tanker against a swarm. It's not possible. If one drone hits that hull, the environmental and economic catastrophe is total. The Navy has realized that an escorted tanker isn't protected. It is just a bigger target. You do not go to the center of the lake to fight a crocodile in your own small boat. This is a massive strategic win for the new leadership in Tehran. Without firing a single missile at U.S. carrier, they have effectively closed the world's most important oil artery. By simply existing and threatening swarm, Iran has forced the U.S. Navy to admit its limitations. This isn't just a win for Iran. It is a win for the idea of asymmetric warfare. It shows that in this 2026, high-tech empires can be humbled by low-cost resistance. The shipping industry is now in a panic. Rates are soaring. Insurance is non-existent. And the Great Gateway of Hormuz is now no-go zone. As we reach the revelation, the mask has slipped. Yesterday, the U.S. Energy Secretary tried to post a lie on X, claiming a tanker had been successfully escorted. The White House had to force him to delete it within minutes because the Navy refused to back up the lie. The world is seeing a Washington divided, a president who wants to protect strength, and a military that knows it is overextended. 1/5 of the world's oil is stuck behind a gate that the U.S. Navy is too afraid to open. Africa, I hope we are seeing the power dynamics here. For Africa and the global south, the lesson is clear. The era of gunboat diplomacy, where a single Western ship could dictate the fate of a nation, is ended. When the policeman refuses to walk the beat because the neighborhood is too risky. The neighborhood has officially changed hands. The rain may wash the leopard's spots, but it does not wash them off. The U.S. may try to wash away this defeat with more fiery talk, but the spots of this reality are permanent. This is the latest Dodging One. We don't just report the war. We report the shift in the world order. If you want more genesis to revelation, deep dives that the mainstream media won't touch, then subscribe and hit the notification bell. Stay sovereign, stay awake. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.